Jai Hind everyone. So today I'm going to talk about something called deep work concept. The deep work concept is a life hack where you can increase your productivity and have a quantified measurement of your work, whether it is academics or any kind of project that you're doing or anything like that. This is something that we learned from the corporate, of course, and it's used to reduce your idle time. Idle time is something, for example, let's say you're doing a particular kind of work or you are doing your academics, you're reading something, and then again you're closing it, you're lying idle for some time. And quite often it happens that we lose a track of this. This takes up a good amount of time from our productive life. Now, if we are able to manage this, we will be able to minimize this. And this is one of the most fundamental techniques where you can improve your efficiency to a great extent. You see, if we are having an efficiency of around 70%, it's really a lot as compared to having 50% and 15% of a time idle. Many of times we have seen that around 1 hour or 2 hours just pass by and we have not got any kind of productive result. This is something that I do in my personal life and I can endorse it that yes, it will definitely take you to a better place as compared to what you are right now. Now for this you can use a smartphone. In the smartphone there is an app called Alarm and Clock. Over there is stopwatch. What I do is before I begin a particular task, I start the stopwatch. Now in the ancient days they used to have the sand mine kind of thing, like the sand container, and they used to topple it, and that used to have a particular timer like 5 minutes or 1 minute or something like that. And then you will have a consciousness that okay, you have to finish the task early. Okay, so have a look at what I am going to show in my desktop. I have that particular application in desktop as well. It is there in any Microsoft Windows operating system if you figure it out. So I'll switch the camera now, and this is how it's going to look. So yes, this is the particular stopwatch app that I have. Okay. This is like how my desk looks, like I have these kind of notepads, a calendar, Lipton biscuits and everything. So this is something it always, keeps things in handy. So now coming to the point of this. So I was doing a particular task in my sticky notes where I was writing some article. Now, before I start this, what I do is I go to the application, that is stopwatch, and start. Now, let's say if you're reading something from the PDF or something, let's say you're reading a particular kind of a current affair. Let's open a particular current affair. Okay. 1 second. Or 1 second. So let's say I'm reading this particular document. Over here, there is a stopwatch running. If you are an average or at least a good reader, you will be able to read at least 20 to 25 pages per minute. So, with this, you can just start keeping a track. Okay. So like this is something about my certification. So I'll just start reading it around something and then see what is the time elapsed. Now you can even stop, you can create a lap. Okay, that the first spell took 55 seconds, you just note it at particular time. Again you can reset. The point here is whenever you do a particular task, always quantify it. Let's say if you are stopping in between, let's say for example you have started it and now you are stopping the particular task, like you are going to the washroom or you are taking a break or you are taking a phone call, just put a pause. With this, you will be able to get the total effective time of your productive work. The total effective time of your productive work will be obtained by this, and then you can actually calculate your productivity that, okay, are you even productive? Is it going more than 50% of your time? Like for example, if you are just sitting down and sleeping for 6 or 7 hours, okay, remove the 7 hours out of 24 hours, you're left with around 14 hours if you're sleeping for 7 hours. So out of those 14 hours, you start your particular task and then let's say you take a break for your breakfast. Like for me, I'm into solo living, so I will have to cook for myself, and with this span, like cooking an entire thing and again having the food, it takes around 45 minutes to 1 hour. Again I'll restart the stopwatch and start with my task. In this, what happens, you are able to get your quantified amount of time that is productive, and with this you can increase it. Because let's say we are running, okay, now running 5 kilometers at 30 minutes is something we will achieve in our first or second go. Out of that, when we are keeping a track of it, it is a psychological behavior that we will be pushing ourselves to make it faster, maybe 29 minutes or 29 minutes 50 seconds. That will be a bigger achievement for us, right? Similarly over here, when you will be seeing that, okay, you're reading a particular book. Now each chapter will have around, like, let's say, it depends, again, 15 to 20 pages, or if you're reading a novel, 20-25 pages. You will, if you're reading around 15 to 20 pages in a particular hour, you will be pushing yourself to read 22 pages in the next hour, or 25 pages in the next hour, or 30 pages in the next hour. With this, you will develop the skill of speed reading, and speed reading plays a very important role. Like, you try to skim between the lines and figure out that, okay, what is needed and what is not needed, and this will also develop your comprehension skills. And whatever the kind of examinations you might be writing, and comprehension skills is something that is a tangible asset. This asset is fruitful across everywhere, not just in examinations but also in your work. Maybe, let's say, in your workplaces, you will be having standard operating procedures, you will be given notes to learn, and I mean, that's how the learning is in the corporate or any kind of industries. You will have to read. Reading is an essential habit. So speed reading will enable you to absorb the facts in a much faster duration of time, and with this you will develop a more learning appetite. So you see, this simple habit of stopwatch and tracking and focus attention is actually helping you across multiple paradigms. It is improving your comprehension skills, it is making you time productive, you are able to manage better time. This concept is called deep work. Deep work in the sense, during this duration of task, for example, I'm not doing multitasking. Like, if I'm doing a particular task, like for example emailing, now I have to prepare a particular content. Let's say I'm writing a write-up of a Microsoft Word of around 500 words, and in this I'm not going for any other kind of distraction. I'm not checking my notifications. This is 7 minutes of deep productive work, and I'll finish the emailing and then I'll pause the stopwatch. 7 minutes of deep work. So with this deep work skill, it has been observed scientifically that your productiveness, your time management, your comprehension, your ability skill, everything goes for a good escalation and it goes high. So this is the message that I want to give. Use this deep work concept and let me know, come back with the feedback, and we can discuss jointly on what are the more effective strategies of time management or productivity. And feel free to drop by suggestions or feedback at the same time. And it's very important we keep a track of 24 hours, because see, if you go by the time budget concept, that 86,400 seconds are credited every day to us, right? Now if, let's say, if you're not able to utilize it, then it becomes a toss. Every day is just floating by. Correct? That's not right. And second thing is, before becoming productive, tracking is important. See, that is why it's said, like, if we have to improve on our budget, let's say people who are living outside on their own expenses, maybe people salaried working professionals, or students who are having limited pocket money and who are living in hostels, before minimizing your budget, track your budget, like where are the expenses going. Then you can differentiate between the necessities and the requirements, right? Like, what are the expenses that are necessary in nature? It could be a mobile bill, of, like for me, my broadband cost, or like I use a fiber connection, and so these kind of costs is important for me. Now, where are things I can minimize? Where, like, maybe minimizing the frequency with which I order food online. Because see, as a working professional, and if you are focused on your career, you're doing a lot of certifications, you're doing more enhanced things in your personal time as well. So you will need to prioritize, and so there will be times where I will be ordering food from the online platforms apart from cooking, right? But now if I minimize this, like let's say instead of 3 days a week, I minimize it to 2 days a week, or normally it goes as 4 days a week, and I minimize it to 2 days a week, then it's a plus for me. So that is how the minimization happens. So first you track anything, be it in time, be it in budget, be it anything. First keep a track of it, and then you start minimizing it. This is again one of the important hacks that has helped me a lot, and I still keep it. It keeps me, this is how I manage. Like, I have around 10 to 12 hours of working shifts, and apart from that, like, I do professional enhancement work for myself, and apart from that, like creating content in Spotify and podcast and YouTube, making this particular video. So this is all how it works. That concept of deep work. Try it out, figure it out, and do come with a feedback on this. Jai Hind, and have a great day. Sincere prayers for you and your family members. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.